away. Now just a general dog's body. Um, Basic idea today is to look at what happened in the summer exams, look at some of the comments from the principal examiners, some of the comments from the people that marked the exam papers. I also thought it'd be worthwhile to throw in some thoughts and some suggestions from the two principal moderators for practical. So PHED 2, PHED 4 comments as well. Try and cover the whole lot in 2 hours. The only way you can contact me realistically is through the chat window. So any questions you think of, type them in. I'll answer them as best I can. Some I might struggle to answer for very obvious reasons. I just don't know the answer, but I will answer all those I can possibly manage. But that will cause slight delays because typing, it's multitasking. I can't type and speak at the same time. In fact, I can't scratch my nose and speak at the same time if I'm being realistic. Halfway through a break, round about the end of the PHED 2 rubbish as a guess. Okay, I'd like you to have a printout of the slides. Hopefully you've done it already. I'd also like you to have to hand, if possible, a copy of the PHED 1 and PHED 3 exam papers, which should have been sent to you, or your centre at least, prior to tonight. If you're struggling for that, then just get rid of someone now and send them out. And just to make sure everyone's okay and fine, could you just click on the little man with his hand raised again, set status bar, and disappear your tick so I know you can all hear me and everyone's willing to start. Thanks, Ben. See, we are friends, Ben. Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, thanks, Cor. Thanks, David. Thank you, Liam, and thank you, Helen. Okay, let's get the show on the road. So, PHED 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 seems a fairly obvious order to me. So the best thing about the PHED 1 exam, many candidates are able to recall knowledge that they'd learnt from your lessons. A lot of candidates, fairly obviously, had learned past mark schemes. That was quite good. And when they were used in the right context, that was really good. Bad points. Quite a few students struggled to link knowledge to performance. They knew some things but struggled with some examples when they were required. Command words are always a problem, and I'd like to think we're going to try and work on that in the next 3 or 4 months before the exam. And, you know, same as the first point, examples are often badly done with PHED 1. In terms of command words, a quick print up there of what questions and what was going on in the 2014 paper. The important one is at the bottom. There's something like 27, 28 questions on a PHED 1 paper, something like that, with, you know, question 1, A part 1, A part 2, etc. So about 27, 28 questions, and virtually half of them have the command word explain. And students struggle with that command word. And what we want as examiners, what the examiners think the command word means, is either give me a reason why, or conversely, give me as much detail as you can possibly manage. Some of the other command words are also quite important. The 4th or 5th one down, name, sketch, and label. If there's no sketch, there is no mark. What do you understand by the term is AQA's way of saying define. They don't like to use the word define, but that's what they mean by that. So nice simple ones like name and what and identify. 1 word, 2 word, 3 word answers. State, 1 word, 2 word, 3 word answers. But explain is the big problem. And my thoughts on this, if it helps anybody, is this isn't have a lesson to work out what these command words mean. It means every time you set the students a question, either for homework or during class or during a test, when you're looking back over the answer, let's emphasize what these command words mean and how the examiners literally spend a whole day going through PHED 1 paper to make sure the correct command word is being used to elicit the appropriate answer. Okay, PHED 1, well, it was slightly harder this year. Pass mark was about 40 out of 84, almost half marks to pass. So as a general comment, there's our first general comment, I thought this year's PHED 1 was more difficult than previous PHED ones. I think the difficulty mainly arose from, how can I say this without getting shot down by AQA? From the goalposts moving slightly, and the demands being made by the examiners on the candidates' responses were certainly tougher than in previous years. But let's look at it in some detail. Question 1, part A, understand the term agility. Yeah, quite good. Change direction quickly. Very, very good. The only problem that some students found with that 2-mark question was the second part. Why is it important for badminton players? It needed, unusually for AQA questions in PHED 1, to link back to the actual sport itself. The responses had to be linked back to badminton. So you couldn't just repeat, oh, well, you need to be able to change direction quickly. That's not worthy of the second mark. It's change direction quickly to do this, whatever involved in badminton. The only problem for some students as well, they tended to link their second part away from agility and talk more about reaction time. So they have to move quickly, for example. Nah, I'm sorry, move quickly is not what agility is about. Or that sort of idea. So non-specific examples. First, if you like, example of a tighter mark scheme. It had to refer to agility and it had to refer to badminton to get a mark. Part 1B, okay, for all those that could work out the difference between health-related and skill-related components of fitness. So skill-related questions are just wrong. So, for example, reaction time is just wrong. And then explain how it's used had to gain to be specific to badminton. So saying that you need stamina, for example, for badminton, then had to then say, why do you need stamina for badminton, not what is stamina. So not a definition, had to be related to badminton. So badminton games last half an hour or more, therefore you need stamina. Yeah, that's a great answer. In terms of question 1C, there was a limit to what we saw when we marked. I marked most of these, by the way. Limit to what we saw when we were marking this in terms of the mark scheme. Most of the points on the mark scheme were credited, but very, very few were credited on the same candidate's response. You know, 1 or 2 talked about you get hot, overheating. Quite a few talked about increased blood viscosity. Very, very few talked about an increase in heart rate or a lower blood pressure. I don't think anybody talked about lower cardiac output and point E. Inefficiency of gas transport, no, not many mentioned that. Cramp, oh yeah, lots of cramp. Lots and lots of cramp. Lots and lots of fainting and dizziness, but quite generalized comments. So lack of depth maybe in student knowledge about the effects of dehydration. And obviously dehydration, as it wasn't actually in the question, but hydration was, dehydration was not accepted as a response. Standard thing for any exam question. If there's a word or phrase used in the question, then it's not creditable as an answer. Part D, part 1, a harder question than normal because they had to get all 3 points from the mark scheme to get 1 mark. Increased heart rate before exercise because of adrenaline, all 3 to get 1 mark. And I think previously that question has been asked as a 2-mark question.